Well, hello, folks. We are back. Episode 37 on the Don Michelle sponsored A View from Section C podcast. Senior, a couple of
Junior,
weeks since we were last on.
has been
Work, basketball, some personal stuff. Away
celebrating your
for a
mum's
weekend.
60th birthday. Yeah, celebrating your mum's 60th birthday.
21 again.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we're back. We do apologise. It was a hectic week last week, but we are here again. Now that the hectic period is over, Senior, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Good.
It's still hectic at work, like, but you can what it's like in there when it's a lead up to Christmas. It just goes mental.
Yep.
Hey ho. But yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It was good to see we got some sort of an apology from one half of the Dode Fox podcast. Apologising.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, I've seen
I
that.
was good at big tall Paul. I was good on to reach out like that. So appreciate that. So we're all good again. We're back again. The View from Section C in the Dode Fox podcast. We're podcast friends.
Oh, friends. Oh.
Yeah, we're all back together again.
Oh, but yeah. Yeah. Been a again, like you say, still a hectic week.
Yeah.
Obviously we're recording this on Thursday night. The only night I've got off from basketball this week. So yes, it is a very hectic week still. But it's been a bit of a hectic kind of period with hockey as well.
As indeed.
We had a weekend, we had a midweek game, we've got a weekend game, and then the Friday, Saturday coming up this weekend. So yeah, it's a busy time. It's going to come up to a busy time because it's Christmas coming up soon.
I'll tell you, you know what I'm really enjoying about the hockey just now, apart from we're winning games now, is Saturday night games.
Saturday night games.
Love a Saturday night game. Must admit, love a Saturday night game. A home game. Love it.
Is that? That's usually because
great.
Billy McGuinness is pished.
Billy's letting me do now. Billy's got the big boy pants on now, is he?
Aye.
Yeah.
Daddy. Hey, Daddy cool, eh? Got
Daddy
start singing that
McGuinness.
for him now.
Yeah. So, well, come on. We've not really seen them. So, for a view from Section C, congrats to Billy and Sophie on the birth of their baby boy.
Very much so.
We'll see. Hopefully, the three of them, and I do say the three of them, are at the game at the weekend. I'll be disappointed if they're not.
Yeah. God, you were saying to me last weekend when we were standing in the queue, you were disappointed that Billy never turned up for the Cardiff game.
Well, exactly. Because if you think about it, I think Billy put on Facebook that Sophie had the baby at something like 3 minutes past 8 in the morning.
Aye.
So face off was 7 o'clock at night. So in my opinion, no excuse. Sophie maybe had an excuse, but Billy, no excuse. I'm not having it. Or if Billy wanted to stay in the house with the wee man, then Sophie could have been to the game.
Exactly. Someone could have been there.
I'm not having it that the two of them had to stay in the house. Like what you said about Dode Fox, eh? Well, I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed.
Just disappointed. Yeah. Well, we're having to make up to a few people here because there was one very in particular disappointed listener on Saturday, and Mr. Craig Niche.
Yes, exactly. Pulled us up in the queue and everything.
Jesus. Asked if it was Pizzagate and everything as well. But yeah. That was.
Couldn't believe it. Verbally abused in a Dundee Stars queue for not putting out a podcast. But we're back. We're back. So Craig will have something to listen to well sees when he's out doing his painting and decorating, and that'll keep him going there.
Yeah, well, he might get a wee job at us if we didn't get our painter or decorator backs round soon. If we were snagging lists for Chamberlain Bell because they're absolute cowboys. But moving on that, let's go and look at some games that have been played. And out of these three games, there was 2 victories in this.
Exactly.
The first one being the Cardiff Devils. So obviously we missed this due to being away from Mum's 21st, 60th, 21st. So Stars opened the scoring at 10-12 in the power play from Ben Soke, assisted by Semyonovs and Sonch. Ryan Penny equalised at 16-32. Stars took the lead again through Carter Folk, assisted by Ryan Dow at 23-29. Josh Waller equalised again in the power play at 27-23. Elijah Barriga assisted by Dow and Semyonov's 36-14 on the power play, gave the Stars the lead again. 41 seconds into the third period, Joey Martin, obviously, Joey Martin always pops up on the power play. Yeah, on the power play at 40-41. Bariga with his second of the night at 45-24 on the power play, assisted by Semyonovs again. And then the hat-trick hero, Elijah Bariga, assisted by Philippe Songe at 54-51, giving the Stars a 5-3 victory over the Cardiff Devils. A bit of a shock, considering how we'd been playing the last few weeks and the inconsistencies that we'd had. But we'd said it on the podcast when we reviewed the game, or when we were speaking about the game beforehand, saying that who is it that stopped them getting their Guinness World Record? You know, when we got our first win in the Elite League again, it was against Cardiff. It was a bit of a bogey team at times for them. And I think they might have came into Dundee just expecting to roll over and just, you know, not really hate to turn up and play the game and win.
Yeah.
But we came out battling.
I called it. I did say it. When you asked me what you expect and what do you think, I said I'm expecting a home win, 2 points. There's just something about the Stars over the years when they play Cardiff.
Yeah.
They suddenly turn up, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Cardiff's travel, whether it's they're going to come in thinking they're getting beat every week. Teams are getting a 4, 5, 6, 7 every week or whatever.
Yeah.
And as you say, they maybe thought, we'll go a wee bit lighter here, and they got put in their place.
Yes.
We weren't there, obviously. We never seen it. We were following it, and then on the Sunday, we seen Bariga's goal.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop it.
The guy is a bit of a human highlight reel at times. He really is. You know, you've seen some of the stuff he did in college, and you think, you know, will he be able to do that when he goes into the pro leagues? There's your answer. He's we'll come on him, but he's a different kettle of fish in this team.
When him and Sonche are up for it, then they give the whole team a lift.
Yeah. So we're in that. You know, we get the 2 points. We then have to go to Coventry in the midweek game on the telly. And again, it's another deflating performance in front of the cameras for us. We didn't have much luck with the cameras in front of us. So, Garrett Johnson at 11:01 gave Coventry a 1-0 lead into the first period. Quick fire double from John Kern and then Colton Yellowhorn at 35-36 and 36-25. And then Peyton Franti at 48-32 on the power play, giving Coventry a 4-0 win. I'd heard a lot of people speaking about the game and said it was just another shadow performance of what we were against Cardiff, and when we've beat Sheffield away and got a point in Belfast, the games that, well, let's not beat around the bush. Coventry are a decent side this year. They're not fantastic, but they're no shit. They're steady, they're solid. Danny Stewart's put together a really good team this year, but I'd still be expecting us to compete against them.
Yeah,
and I know these people call themselves the Happy Clappers. Stella and Andy Strange, they call themselves the Happy Clappers now, and even they were saying that it wasn't a performance that we could be proud of. There was no real effort or tenacity in them at all.
It's a strange thing, and it's like we had this issue last year where we put performances in, and then we would be poor, and then we'd put a good performance in, and then we would be poor. Yeah. Coventry away is always a hard game. It always has been throughout the years for Dundee, and obviously it still is. Did I expect to win in Coventry? Honestly, probably not. But I think the Cardiff win gave me a sort of a bigger expectation that we've turned the corner. We could do something here. We could maybe get beaten overtime or a shootout or whatever. But take them really close.
Yeah.
But again, it's these quick fire goals that are absolutely killing us.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and we can't afford to do it because then at 1-0 you're hanging around and you're still in there. But you go into the second period and within a couple of minutes you're 3-0 down, and you're thinking, what's happened here? Game's gone. The game is absolutely gone. And I don't know what it is. I'm lost for words at times with this team. Sometimes we'll praise them, and sometimes we're just like, what on earth is what have we witnessed here?
And it's like you say, the Cardiff win, I think, gave everyone a bit of renewed energy of these guys can play. They can beat the big teams, especially Sheffield away, but we can beat the big teams on home ice. And that's what we always say, win your home games and hope for the best on the road, and you'll have a decent season.
Yeah.
But we just kind of find that consistency in it.
I think for the Cardiff game, was that Chris Leidsman's first game, the Cardiff game?
Yep.
Yeah. So you bring him in, and from all accounts, and we'll discuss it because we were at the 5 games, so we've seen more of him.
Mm-hmm.
Came in, just your stay-at-home D-man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they bring this, and he's a big guy. He's 6'2" or something. He's a big guy. He can be physical from all accounts.
Yep.
I think Hassie knows him. Justin Farina knows him. So you think, he's probably maybe no mix it. I think he's fought Haas when they were younger, but he could handle himself. And you go in, you get that boost of him signing. You then go and beat Cardiff 5-3, and then you go to Coventry and you turn in a display before Chris Leidsman had signed.
Yeah.
And you think, oh God, for me, Eden began thinking again, God, have we made another mistake here?
Yeah. But
and then they make the total cock up with the score sheet, and number 21, Johan Eriksson, is on the score sheet against Coventry. Is that the when they had to come out and announce that? Oh, sorry, we've not really signed them yet.
So the Elite League announcing a Stars player signed before the Stars do it, and very much reminds you of the old saying of the Elite League being a beer league. Just unreal, honestly. But Johan Eriksson coming in, as you said, I kind of forget his name because a player, and I'm like, what are you on about? And you meant Carlson, but Eriksson.
Carl Eriksson instead of Eric Carlson.
Carl Eriksson. Honest to God. You'll not forget his name because he's on the back of your shirt. I think he is. But so Eriksson came in for the Fife game. Leidsman as well. And I'm going to come back to Leidsman after we review this. But so a big character win, I think, for us against Flyers. Flyers have been really... Okay, we're level on points in the league, and we'll come on the league table in a second, but they're a team that's been really steady, and they've pumped Nottingham. They've pumped a few teams and lost a few games themselves. But Dryden Dow got us off to a good start in that second period, assisted by Sonch and Barriga at 23-39. We then go 2-0 up through Elijah Barriga, assisted by Dow and Sonch, 35-52 on the power play. A bit of a killer for us, I thought. Yanni Kivalati pulled one back at 39-15. I didn't think we win that period at all when they scored.
Yeah, that could have tipped the balance towards enemy, but I thought we'd done really well at the start of the third period.
Well, the start of the third period, the big friendly giant himself, Ian Parker, assisted by Craig Garrigan and Leidsman at 46-29. Zach Phillips scored on a mistake from the Stars in our own zone at 56-45. And then Philippe Sonch with the empty netter, assisted by Carter Folk and Elijah Barriga at 59-07, giving the Stars a very well-deserved 4-2 victory. I read a lot of the Fifers comments after the game, which said they made us look good. Fife were terrible. There's a poor Stars team they were playing against. It should have been a win. I just thought we totally neutralised Fife's game from the start. I thought the first period, it was evens. And then the second period, I thought we absolutely dominated them. Like, Fife didn't even look like scoring. And then they get that break right at the end of the period, and it's like, fuck, we're in a 2-1 game here when we're cruising. And then third period again, I thought we were dominating. Parker scored. I'm going to come back to him in a second. Parker scored, and then a mistake. They get the puck. Effectively, it's a 2-on-1, and he goes top shelf. Phillips goes top shelf on Anton, but then we get the empty netter. 2 periods, we totally dominated against them. And it's the first time I've seen us really dominate a team all season.
Yeah, I thought we totally played them and outworked them. And I think, if you listen to Dutium's post-match chat with Stars TV, I think he basically said the same.
Yeah.
They were just totally outworked and outplayed, outfought every department. Again, if it hadn't been for Owen, we could have scored an absolute barrel load.
There was some absolute belter of saves by Shane Owen in that game.
Yeah.
Some unreal ones.
I've always said that's his job. That's what he does. He allows Fife to stay in games. And that's all you ask in that winder. And allow the players, the skaters, to go and do the job for you. However, if you watch, I think it was one of the power play goals, I can't mind. There's one goal you see from behind the goal. And I think it might have been Barrigas. It was Barrigas in the second period to go 2-0 up. And Parker has planted himself right in front of Shane Owen. And you can see the highlights from behind the goal. Shane Owen cannot see past that guy.
No.
And what I thought we'd done well on the Saturday night against Fife was we played to Ian Parker's strengths.
Yeah, that was.
And I thought he was really good.
Yeah, by far his best game for the Stars. And you know what? Like, listen, I've not publicly or on social media or that. I've not been his biggest fan since he came in. I'll be honest, but I think he has steadily improved over the last few weeks. Seemingly, he was very good in Coventry in the 4-0 loss. But that game on Saturday against Fife, in and around the net, big body presence, holding the... You know what? I can't believe I'm waiting to use this analogy. I'm waiting to use a football analogy here in ice hockey. He was David Sims, way to go mental when he listens to this. It was like... He's like the John Daly of the Stars. He was just able to hold that puck up so much behind the net. And guys were just bullied up. Like, he was just standing. Guys were trying to hit him, and he's just the big gangly boy's just staying on that puck. He's just freakishly tall.
You're right. He's an absolute giant. Like, he's 6'9". He looks awkward on skates.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, he does.
There's players that are smaller than him at 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", look awkward on skates.
Yeah.
Right. But he's got great hands for somebody at that height.
For a big man, his hands are decent.
Great hands.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with you. I think it's probably his best game he's played since he started.
Yep.
He got man of the match, and I can understand why he got it, right?
Yep.
But, and there's a but for me, he stole it from Dryden Dow.
Oh, yeah.
Dryden Dow was immense against Fife. Yep. And for me, that happens because of Chris Leidsman.
Yep. And you know what? It's funny you say that, because my point that I was going to come back to about Chris Leidsman was I barely saw him on the ice. Barely even acknowledged him being there. And I was just like, at the end of the game, he's skating around, and I was like, fuck, I forgot he was playing. Like, steady, stay at home, no shit, no mistakes, and let Dryden go and do his fucking job.
Exactly.
And I was so surprised when I realised he was still playing and got the assist, and I was like, Oh yeah, that guy's playing. I forgot we signed him.
And I think Dryden will be absolutely loving that, because he'll know that if he goes, for example, if he's maybe playing with Ryan Verrier and Dryden goes, he's maybe a bit, oh shit, Verrier's up here as well. He knows Leisman's not going up the ice. He knows that Leisman is sitting at the back, just mopping it up. And I was the same as you. I seen him on the ice, but he went on, done his job, came off, went back on, and that's I done. But Dryden down, what a performance! Honestly, best player on the ice by an absolute country mile, in my opinion.
No, he was good. But yeah, the thing, I'm going to go back to Ian Parker as well. There has been a lot of criticism of him since he signed. There has been a lot of people saying he doesn't really look interested. But if you watch back, I don't know, I've not watched the highlights, but if the camera zooms in on him after he scores, tell me that is not a player, or tell me that's a player that's not interested in being at Dundee. And the relief out of him, the release of energy when he scored, like, let's be honest, you know, he put the puck on the net. I think Owen will definitely want that one back. It trickled through him and went in, considering all the saves he makes during the game. But the passion that came out of him and the relief that he's finally scored, it was the big celebration when he scored it, and then it's the fucking woo right at the bench.
It goes past me. And you know what I liked about it as well was that, right? But it was how his teammates reacted.
Yeah.
To me, that showed that the rest of his teammates appreciate what that guy's trying to bring to this team.
Yeah.
You're right. He's had a lot of criticism, but I've noticed it recently that there is more praise for the guy now. Than what there is criticism.
It's like we're saying, you know, we played to his strengths against Fife. He was on the third line, which is probably where he should be. And a lot of people, we always say this about guys that come from the ECHL and stuff. We don't sign big scorers.
No.
We bring in a lot of grinders or forechecking guys. Parker, again, you can say what you want about him as skating, fucking Bambi or whatever, right? The guy's not the best skater, or it might just look awkward. He might be a good skater, it just looks awkward skating. But he's a grinder. That third line, he's a third line player in an ECHL or that. Okay, that's where we need to play strengths. We did it on Saturday. I thought he was brilliant. I'm hoping that that's now him kickstarting as well now.
I'm sitting here trying to remember what the lines were. So we know what the first line is. The second line was what? Soke, Eriksson,
and Hugo.
See, I thought Hugo was with Parker. And that's what I try to picture all the players there.
We're going to do this. We're going to bring up the game sheet on my phone right now.
Carter Folk, was it? No, Carter Folk. It was with Soke.
You're correct. So it was Hugo, Howlett, and Parker.
That's it. Yep.
But then there was a slight rotation with Garrigan being on with Parker at some points, as well as Rutgers.
And I think Soke and Eriksson are going to be really good together. And Parker, Reinhardt, and Howlett all play the same kind of game, but they've all got different skating. Like Matt could get a puck and just boom, he's away. And it does help the team a lot. Hugo just gets in people's faces. End of the game, he's in Lawrence's face, which was great. I'm going to come across here, give you a wee dig, and fucking wind you up.
But what was he playing it? Lawrence started it. What was he playing it?
Yeah.
He's honestly, he's such a dick. You know, but someone else said it as well. I can't remember who it was, but I actually think it was Stella Young again that had said that he was kept in his fucking lane last season and didn't start any shite when Haas was there. And then as soon as we've not got a fighter, I'm Billy Big Boss. Fucking do one. Absolutely do one.
But think about it though, right? How many teams are going to be like that with us this year?
Yeah.
There'll be a lot. There
Yeah.
will be a lot of
And saying
teams
that,
like that with us.
you know, Leidsman now is hopefully the guy that kind of stops it from happening.
I hope so. Yep. I
You know,
hope so.
we also had Parker as well, although it wasn't really a fight. He did drop the gloves the other week. And same with Folk, eventually again dropping the gloves.
Yeah.
But just on Ben Soke, so I'm going to go through some wee time on ice here. Obviously, the Elite League put this up about players' time on ice. So obviously, our highest player time on ice, average time on ice, is Dryden Dow at 25 minutes and 50 seconds. Elijah Bariga at 23:06. Now, Ben Soke's only played 9 league games. Okay, however, he is our lowest import on time on ice at 14:39.
Yeah. Strange, yeah.
I just don't. I know the guys have played. He's played half of what they have. I think it's 18 games we've played. He's played half of them. You'd still expect that figure to be a bit higher. I'd still be looking at that at about maybe, see, even 18, 19.
Yes,
Because
that's what I'd have thought. He'd been sitting at around about that time.
I find it crazy that
I must admit, I really like Ben Soke. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really do. I think he's a fantastic player. The other week, I was actually sort of advocating. I actually thought that he should have been put on the first line, and Semyonov's switched back to the second line to give Soke more ice time. However, maybe now that Eriksson's came in, you might begin to see their ice time going up the way. Yeah,
I hope so.
Well,
that was my only point.
Massive win, massive as it says on the t-shirt.
Massive
win, massive win against Fife, and it was good coming on the back of a 4-0 drubbing down in Coventry.
Yeah, so obviously it sets up the league table as shown on the screen now if you're watching on YouTube. So Guildford currently sitting at the top on 31 points after 18 games. Next in second place is Sheffield, 25 after 16 games. So already a 6-point gap between Guildford and second place. But looking further down towards us in the table, Glasgow rock bottom still with 9 points. They're now tied on points with Manchester, who are in 9th place with 4 games in hand on them. They have 4 games in hand on us as well. We're in 8th place on 12 points. And Fife, obviously, we managed to get that win against them, which brought us back onto level points with the Flyers. With the same amount of games played, 12 points. Nottingham, you're looking at that, they've got 3 games in hand, but they're only a point above we.
And they've got to win these games in hand.
Yep. And they've got to they've got a new coach, but, getting rid of their coach, bringing in somebody new, but old. Very surprised at Corey Nielsen going back there. But yeah, for me, the concerning side of things still is that 79 goals against after 18 games. But hopefully Leidsman coming in sharpens that up a little bit more. I think the defensive side of things, it had, we still make a number of mistakes at the back, as evident by Fife capitalising on them. But, you look at Cardiff, kept them to 3 goals. They can score a barrel load if they want. We've kept Fife to 2. Okay, we've conceded 4 in Coventry, but again, it's only 4. We've been losing games 6-7.
Yeah. The positive for me, if we're going to take the positive out of those 3 games, is we scored 5 against Cardiff and 4 against Fife.
Yeah. Considering
the last time we done the podcast, we were averaging 2 goals a game. And I was saying, if somebody goes 2-0 in front of us, we're not winning games because we'll not score 3 goals. Well, they've proved me wrong because they went and scored 5. Now we get beat Coventry, but then we go and score 4 against 5. So it does go to show that if we create chances and we're going to take them, we could score goals now. Yeah. Let's work at the back end now to stop goals. And as you say, hopefully the Leidsman will be the guy that stops that. Yeah. But we'll have to give a shout out. Obviously, we spoke about his goal and stuff, but we have to give a shout out to Elijah Bariga and what a pickup he has been for us. Looking at his stats now on the screen, it's 18 games played,
with 12 goals, 10 assists, 22 points. And again, only 6 penalty minutes, which is good to see. But 22 points, he is tied 5th in the league. I think he's tied with Colton Yellowhorn for points. And goals, he is tied 2nd on 12 goals with Scott Conway. The 2 top goal scorers are on 13, so he's only a goal behind them. But just phenomenal player.
Yeah. We were concerned when Charlie left. We thought, okay, we've got Songe back. What are we going to get to work alongside Songe with Charlie going? And we bring somebody in of different personalities.
Yeah.
Because Charlie was just shit.
Yeah.
So he was. Elijah's totally different player, but is putting up the same production as what Charlie was. Could you imagine if we had Charlie and Songe and Barriga are playing together?
Yeah.
I know. If you had these three together, I'm going to put myself out there. You're looking at the Conway Goodwin Pickenich line of that, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
They'd be up there with they three.
Yeah. So we're about to come up to our last games of the month before we move into December, which also means it's time for the Don Michel competition time, Larzo. I know, we're going to have to get like a wee Italian tune or something out for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Don. Yeah, I know. But yeah, Don Michel. Obviously, Larzo, you were saying before the show started, month of November's coming to an end.
Yes, so that'll be the 20% off one, is it? Yeah, the 20% off that is running if you're mentioning a View from Section C podcast when you're in Don Michel. So if you mention the podcast, you will get 20% off. But we are coming up to closer to the last week of November. So the 31st, that'll be it done. There'll be no more 20%.
Sorry, I'm shaking my head. I could hear baby barking and mum shouting in the background there. But yeah, 20% off ends. What's that? Wednesday next week.
It's 30 days of September, April, June, and November. So
yeah, the first on Thursday.
Yeah, so I think it's something like that. So this is this is the 24th. So yeah, next Wednesday, the 30th. I'll close on that date.
And listen, I've heard
get in there if you want to get 20% off.
A lot of people have been using it. I've heard.
Good. And hopefully, the more the better.
Yep. But it's competition time, so we've got a good one for you this week. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a post up, which is obviously Don Michel related. We only need you to like and share the post. There's no guessing this time. There's nothing. This is just a big competition for you. So like and share the post, and obviously we'll have a wee comment. Tag someone in it that you might want to take with you. But there's going to be 2 prizes this week, Larzo. Not one.
Woo! Not 2. One, but 2.
I know. We are rolling in it now. So we have in my hand the Don Michel vouchers. They're here.
Good.
First prize would win vouchers worth £60 to spend in Don Michel. And then the second prize, no, you can't. You really can't. Yeah. That's near enough a full meal for 2 people.
Yeah.
And your second prize is going to be half of that. So we'll give you a £30 voucher for second place. So we'll put a post up. We'll put a deadline on it for when you need to have shared, tag a couple of people in it. More the merrier. Get yourself in it to win it, and be in with a chance of winning 2 fantastic prizes, and maybe a nice little meal. Treat yourselves just before Christmas. Maybe the week before Christmas, you go book yourself in, so you don't hate it. Do any cooking, do any cleaning, no dishes. Just go down and annoy Paddy.
That's it. Just go and annoy Paddy. Yeah, more than that. Just go and annoy Paddy.
Yep. And remember, we've still got our Haas martinis as well.
Yes. Once they've done it, how will people know when they've won.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Senior, because we will do a Facebook post of everyone's entries onto a big
Wait a minute.
what?
Take the we out of this, right? Because if this has got stuff to do with IT, yeah, you're on your own for this, boy, I'll tell you.
Okay. The Royal We, as in a view from Section C's Facebook page, social media pages, we will put everyone's names onto a big electronic wheel. We will hit random winner. It'll all tick round, and that's who will get our prizes for first and second place. So we need to make sure that you have liked the post, you have shared the post in order to enter it so we can see your names.
Yeah, this is on Facebook and Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is indeed. So, competition time. I'm excited for it. So excited for this
one. For the winner, £30 vouchers for second prize.
£90 vouchers in total here, folks.
Junior.
Unreal.
Listen, we might get ourselves into trouble for saying this, but this is not like your 50 pence off Domino's.
You don't know the worst bit about it is?
If you want the big prizes, you listen to A View from Section C.
Do you want to know what annoys me about the percentage discount off of Domino's? It's only available at the one next to your work. So I can't even get it in Arbroath. By the time I get back to Arbroath, I'll be fucking freezing cold. And then we'll have Pizzagate all over again. So,
no.
Yeah, never mind that.
We don't want to go down Pizzagate Road again.
Don Michelle vouchers. £60 first prize and a £30 for second prize.
Yeah.
With that, because it is now moving on to the last games of November, what better way to do it than an away home against the Glasgow, Braehead, North Renfrewshire, Lanarkshire clan.
Glasgow Airport, Westwick International clan.
It never gets tiresome. Nah, it really doesn't.
Big weekend, eh? It is a big weekend.
Huge weekend.
We need, as a minimum, to split the games. As minimum. We can't afford to lose both of them. We cannot afford to lose one and then maybe only pick up 1 point. We must get 2 points. It's got to be a share. Has to be minimum.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be really difficult.
Yeah.
They're beginning to put up performances, maybe not getting the results, but they're now beginning to get a couple of results together.
Yeah. No, that's what I was going to say. I genuinely think this weekend is going to be a split weekend. And I think both clubs will be pushing for 2 wins. But I genuinely think both clubs will want to split the weekend. And I think that's how it will go. I think in Glasgow, I think it's going to be a Glasgow win. Again, they've got their mojo back about them a wee bit. Their fans are back on board with them. They're still a bit pissed off that they've not got a proper coach announced or a CEO or any pish like that, or whoever's in charge. But they've got their mojo back and they're getting that hockey feel to them again, Glasgow.
You know what I find strange about them, about the fans, apart from they're from the West Coast, right? Is they've got this thing, right, about we've not announced a coach. We need to get a coach announced. The guy Dixon's doing a good job.
Doing all right,
Leave it. Why change it? If Stephen Dixon is doing a decent job, they must be carrying about 3 or 4 extra imports. It's ridiculous how many players they've got. But Dixon seems to be doing a job behind the bench.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
Yeah.
Just leave it. They could go and announce a different person to coach them and it goes tits up again, which would be fantastic.
Yep.
However, didn't go about shouting, we need a new coach.
Listen.
We need a new coach. How's Neil Black not announcing the coach?
Yeah.
You've got a coach there. He's doing a job. Suck it up, bitches, and get on with it.
Let's be honest, right? Neil Black wants to sell the club. Okay, they've got this new whoever it is that are coming in to buy the club, right?
Yeah.
Neil Black, he'll spend money for players. He's not going to spend money on them getting a bench coach. Why would he waste his money right now?
Nope.
So Yeah. Aye.
As
Suck it up, princess.
Yeah, as I say, if I was a Clan fan, I'd be happy with Stephen Dixon running the bench the way he's running it.
Yeah.
They have got a big enough squad of players without Stephen Dixon having to be the player coach.
Yeah. So,
but
yeah,
big weekend. Are we capable of getting someone in Glasgow? Of course we are. We've done it before. But like you, I'm sort of leaning towards 2 home wins this week.
Yeah.
Again, they'll probably win the Friday game, and I think we're more capable of winning the home game on Saturday night.
Yeah,
and it would be good because if they, what you said, the fans are back. Like, I mean, it's like the Rangers, is it? You know what I mean? The fans are suddenly coming back because they're getting results in that again. If they beat us, they'll bring a big crowd through on Saturday, and it would be good to do what we've done to Fife. They brought a decent crowd over on Saturday, and they all went home crying. And it would be good if the Glasgow fans went home crying as well.
Yeah. And I think the good thing with the Stars right now, there's no injury worries. You know,
Nope.
Everyone's healthy.
Yeah.
They'll be banged up, but they're healthy. There's no one out injured. So
Ericsson's now had a week of training. Be the guys.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. And again, it's another Saturday night game. But as we touched on at the start of the show, is Billy McGuinness going to be there?
Yeah, well, that's a big question. But the other big question is, Senior, and we're going to take a note on this.
Okay.
What is Senior score predictions for Friday and Saturday?
Right. I shall say on Friday, I shall say 5-2 Clan.
Okay. And then the home game?
3-1 or 4-2 Stars. Stars to win by 2.
You can't get that. You got to guess the score.
Okay. 4-2.
4-2.
4-2.
So I was going to actually say 4-2 Clan on the Friday.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go really wild here with a 2-1 win for Stars on the Saturday. Very low scoring game. It's going to be one of those ones, I think. Two very timid teams.
I would take a 1-0 win on Saturday with a goal that's miles offside.
That now, have you?
With a goal that's miles offside.
That came for an icing.
That come for an icing that should have been called. That wasn't called. I would take it, honestly.
It had 6 players on the ice.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well,
and one of them was Jeff Mason.
Yeah. Well, there is our predictions for the weekend. By all means, we'd love to hear your predictions. So when we put this out on social media, feel free to comment away your score predictions. But 2 big games. Let's hope we're we've got a big smile on our face come Saturday night going home.
Yeah,
but
I think it's going to be. I'm worried for the Friday. I just can't fathom us losing both games.
No. Next
week's podcast, if we get back twice, next week's podcast, I'll be sitting here with a funeral suit on. Honestly, that's how bad it's going to be. We can't. There's a guy on Twitter, Lewis. You've probably seen him, right? He winds up a lot of Dundee fans, right?
Fucking Malky Puck.
He's a young lad, He's a young lad.
He's a tosser.
However, we are massive. Yeah, you're right. You're massive, but you're bottom of the league. But if they win both of the games against us, they go above us, and I cannot handle that.
I know.
Can't handle that because he will tag every one of us in if they go above us.
Yeah.
So
that's it. We're back again after a week off. bumper episode. A lot of games reviewed in there. The 2 games previewed. Remember, we'll put the post out. We'll put a time frame on it as well for your Don Michel competition time. Obviously, thanks to Paddy. We'll say the staff, but Paddy's Business and Don Michel sponsoring the show. It's just phenomenal that Paddy's all about helping support when getting it out there, and like to help one of our old players as well, and
certainly
getting extra business. I've also heard that he's fully booked for Christmas Day.
Brilliant,
unreal.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer boy, yeah. Couldn't have happened to a nicer man.
I wish I thought of that. Go to Paddy's for Christmas dinner.
Well, you can. Me and your mum are going out for Christmas Day, eh?
Yeah, I know you're coming here. God, I hate to pick up
no
that
cooking for us.
I hate to pick up that steak pie on Christmas Eve.
Mummy might be driving. Daddy will be pissed.
Oh, fuck's sake. Well, I didn't hate to drive home, so I'm going to get pissed with you.
But
we'll review that when we get closer to Christmas. But again, thanks again for listening. Dode Fox podcast. You're no shite bags this week. No. Appreciate the apology. And as I say, let's hope we're here. Big grins on our faces that we've at least got. I'm hoping for 4 points now. I really am. But hopefully we split that weekend.
Yeah, split the weekend, and that's me going to finish off because I'm going to want to kick fuck out the dog for barking.
On that note, it's nearly 4th World Cup game of the day. It's Brazil, so we'll be away to watch that. But again, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Saturday at the rink, and you'll hear from us again next week.